you just had a solar and battery installation, first of all, congratulations. You're now generating your own power and hopefully lowering your energy bill. Installation is only the first step. There are a few more important things you need to be doing to really make the most of everything that your array can do for you. I'm Jack Atherton, Design Engineer and Associate Director at Atlantic Renewables, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what to do after your solar installation is complete. So, Section 1, your handover pack. You will receive this at the end of your installation with us, and it is one of the most important things. So, in this handover pack there is an MCS certificate, a DNO approval certificate, your electrical certificates, inverter and battery manuals, data sheets, warranty information, and all the instructions for setting up your app access. So I know this sounds boring. Don't just file away and forget about it, because there are some important documents in this. The documents are key for the things we're moving forward, such as the export payments and any warranty claims, but also if you come to sell the house down the line, these documents are invaluable for proving that your system is compliant and adding value to your home. So this is my first piece of advice, and it's fairly simple. Put your handover pack somewhere safe, give it a read, and store it and save it. So, part 2, get paid for your export. So, one of the biggest things that customers either don't know to do or forget to do is set up export payments. So this has a couple of terminologies in the industry, but one of the main ones at the moment is Smart Export Guarantees, SEGs. And this is where, when your solar array is producing more than your house is using, it has to put the energy somewhere, so it sends it to the grid. So one of the key things to do is get paid for this energy that you're sending to the grid. Very important if you're a solar only install, a little bit less important if you're a battery install or have an EV charge point, so your car can soak up the surplus, but needless to say, you might as well get paid for it rather than giving it away for free. So the difference in tariffs can be quite big, and it's quite hard to make a video on because they do change from sort of month to month and also between suppliers. One of the key factors are they tend to offer you better rates if you're already with them. So this is your energy supplier we're talking about here. So if you're already with, let's say, Eon or Octopus or whatever, they do have export rates, but they tend to give their best rates to their existing customers. So bear that in mind, play the market a little bit, have a look, go on comparison websites and see what best rates are out there for you. So I did this for myself just before this video. The 3 top ones that I could see were Octopus Energy, about 15p, but that's going down to 12p now. And the same for British Gas and Good Energy. A couple of others are Eon, EDF, and OVO. So by all means, there is a market out there. Make sure that you play the field for whatever's best for you. So just a couple of indicative figures for why this is important. If your solar is a big solar, for mine instance, I export a lot more than I use. If that's around 2,000 to 3,000 kilowatt hours per year, at sort of 12p, that could be around 300 to 400 pounds a year. So definitely worth it overall, and it has been factored in your payback calc, certainly with Atlantic Renewables sort of proposals that you will have had in your design process. So it's definitely worth choosing carefully. What you need for these, you should already have in that handover pack we previously discussed. So your MCS certificate, your smart meter identification, which you'll be able to see, and if you're going with your existing supplier, they'll already have, and your DNO approval certificate. It could be G98 if it's 3.6 kilowatts or below, G99 if it's above. Again, we can put them up here to sort of show you what those look like. As I said, all of these are provided by Atlantic Renewables as part of your installation, so you should have everything you need at this point. Once you've submitted those and the application is complete, the supplier will start paying you for every kilowatt hour exported, so a good source of revenue, depending on how well your system has been set up for your electrical needs. The next section, so this is smart tariffs. Now, you may have heard about a fair few of them. We will have discussed with you about this during your design process with Atlantic Renewables. However, it's worth recovering again. Now, there, again, is a whole market out there, so do some due diligence on which are the best offers for you. But the general principles of them are as follows. They'll give you a cheap overnight rate or cheap periods during the day, and they'll tend to mitigate this by sort of having a slightly higher day rate. Now, that isn't a problem for you as well if you've got your solar array installed, because obviously you're getting power during the day. However, using that battery, if you've got one, to store up that cheap energy overnight helps you save even more money across the day. It's also useful if you have an EV charge point as well, because you can use those cheap overnight rates to fill your car for even cheaper. There are a couple of notable exceptions as well, such as Octopus's flux tariff, which pay you even more during certain hours of the day, typically aligned with peak load on the grid, where they ask you to discharge your battery or pay you even more for what your solar's doing at certain times of the day. Now these, there's two forms of these. So there's typically an intelligent version of this and just a normal version of these tariffs. The intelligent ones tend to want or take control of your battery solar system so that they can do all the finer work of discharging when the tariffs are high and sort of charging up your battery when the electricity is cheap, and really trying to economize it best for you. However, you have to be comfortable with someone else controlling your system, and some of the byproducts of this is if your supplier of that is not the same person who gives you a cheap rate for your EV charge point, or if your EV charge point has certain settings, then you can experience some trouble with not getting preferential rates through your charge point. So again, please do some due diligence with rates and which charger, and look at the compatibilities. They should have them on all of their websites about which ones work with which. So that's that covers mainly the basic principles. To take Octopus as an example, so Octopus Go is designed for EV charging. Again, that's cheap overnight, more expensive during the day. Octopus Agile gives you, they change the price of energy depending on the grid at those times every half hour. So again, a lot of it is down to them, and you just kind of find out how much you're making or not making, down to their calculation. So again, there's a lot of relinquishing control in this. And as mentioned, Octopus Flux, which has specific windows for managing your battery system. Look at their case studies on how cost effective it is. I can't say for certain because they don't give the data out what they're founding it on, but you can stand to make extra money, certainly with Octopus Flux, if you're happy to discharge your battery at certain times of the day. So, section 4, check your monitoring app. This should have been set up at the end of the Atlanta Renewables install for you, and you should be able to see either on your phone or on a web browser everything that your system is doing. So depending on the manufacturer, you can go down to a string level monitoring of what your panels are doing. If you've got optimizers or a solar edge system, you may even be able to go down to the panel how much they're doing. While this may seem a bit nerdy or tech friendly up front, it does give you the monitoring capabilities to know if something's going wrong with your system down the line. Obviously, we've just installed it. Nothing should be wrong, otherwise we'd be fixing it. However, if this is the case in 2 years, 3 years time, you'll be able to know that something's going wrong, or you'll be able to compare it to how it was performing this time last year, and you'll be able to check on the health of your system. Again, if you don't want to do any of this, you can sit back, completely forget about it, and the system will run without you. However, if we're talking about getting those marginal gains out of it, this is how you'll be able to know. So the inverter apps give you solar generation information, they give you house consumption information, state of charge of the battery information, and grid import and export costs. Again, this should be set up at the start, and it's really healthy for you to sort of educate yourself on how you're using energy in the house, because this allows you to sort of move your loads to better times. So let's say you're putting on the dishwasher after the sun sets, when actually you're running a solar surplus during the day. Maybe set timers to put these white appliances on during the day, making the most of the free energy rather than exporting it at a lower rate. Again, the apps are the tools you use to make intelligent decisions. So, section 5, and this is about system maintenance. Now, solar panels are one of the better versions of green energy because there's very few moving parts, so they're actually fairly reliable. They do last a long time. However, it's good to keep a few things in mind. Firstly, the panels may occasionally need cleaning if they become very dirty, so keep an eye on visually just by looking at it, see if there's any moss buildup or pigeon excrement or anything like that, branches, leaves, because clearing these will give you a better system performance across its lifetime. Occasionally the inverter and battery area may also get blocked up if you start putting things in front of it. For instance, if you put it in the garage and use the garage to store things, make sure you keep a reasonably clear area around it. They do need some area to breathe and ventilate, which is good for the health and obviously is good for the warranty. So keep an eye on that. And then finally, keep your documentation safe. So if anything does happen within the warranty period, you're going to need those documents we mentioned in the handover pack. So again, put that in a very safe drawer, don't lose it, and make sure you familiarise yourself with them sort of at the start of your solar journey. Most solar panels come with a 25-year performance warranty. So again, we'll be able to check, hopefully we're around in 25 years, we'll be able to have a look and honour the performance guarantees against these panels. But like I say, with the online monitoring, we are able to do a lot of finer detail management of your system. So if you suspect anything's wrong, give us a message, call in or give us an email, and we can have a look through our remote monitoring to see if and advise if there's anything we need to do with your system. Finally, give Atlanta Renewables a good review. So we have many platforms, Trustpilot, we have Google reviews, we're on Which as well. So if you're happy with us, or even if you're not, give us a review. The engagement's always great. If it's not, then come to us, let us know why, and we'd love to mitigate the situation with you. But yeah, all the good reviews really help us as a small company push forward and ride on our 15-year good reputation in the industry. So again, thanks if you've already done this. If not, please consider giving us a review at this point. So in closing and to summarise, my advice to you at this point is keep your handover documents safe, set up your export tariff, consider the smart energy tariffs, check your monitoring occasionally, familiarise yourself with the app so you know if your system is healthy. Shift your energy usage where possible to times when you're generating, and keep the system well maintained, and also give us a nice review. So if you have any questions about your system, Atlanta Renewables is always around to answer any questions. Again, if you have any concerns about it, give us an email, give us a call. Our office is always happy to help. We've been around for 15 years because we provide the support, because customers are happy with us and they want to talk about us, they want to rave about us. So this is part of our offering. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like it. And again, if you have any questions, anything you wish me to cover in a further video, put that in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you very much for your time, guys. I've been Jack Atherton. This is Atlanta Renewables.